can't give you food all day long, sitting here on my porch looking at me. I'm going to do a video, okay? All right. So, Arminianism versus Calvinism, your choice versus God's choice. You know, the weird thing about the Arminians is they're the most hateful people I've ever met. They hate Calvinism, but they hate the people. You know, they personally attack what if you believe that God is sovereign, then basically you're scum. You know, and I just feel as if, is that really godly? Because I don't think it is. Now, looking at choice, if God is sovereign, there is no such thing as choice. Oh, well, God grants us choice. If God grants us choice, then is the choice actually random? You see, it's a circular, stupid argument. There's no possible way that a sovereign God, even though God could do anything, can make anything random. There's no such thing as randomness in the Lord. And I'm glad there isn't. And as I said before, if Adam and Eve had free will and that could not be thwarted, then Adam and Eve were not as informed as they should be, because had they really known what the consequences of their actions were, I'm sure they would not have done it. But Satan fooled them, which meant what? That they weren't very smart. You know, they didn't listen to God, but at the same time, well, they weren't very informed. And here's your problem with all of that. God knew how smart Adam and Eve were, could have made them smarter, could have done a lot of things. As a matter of fact, God probably, I would say, he would have, if he wanted to, stop Adam and Eve from sinning because they didn't know any better. You know, forgive them for they know not what they do. But no, they had to be a given free will so that everybody in the whole world would suffer and die. There would be murders, rapes, pillages, sin galore, all because of free will. I'd rather not have free will. Oh, well, then you're a puppet. Well, I don't feel like a puppet. I kind of feel very free. I'm making a video right now with ducks, and I'm exercising my free will. I freely choose to take pictures of ducks. Now, if God worked in my heart or put the situation here where I can do this freely and put it in my heart that I like ducks, well, then that's my free choice, but his will is still sovereign over me. You see, I am a created being, and everybody seems to want to be autonomous. Well, that's Satan's line. You want to, like, who is God? God's the creator. God's the one that made everything. So God has a right to everything. So this is why Job tore his robes when everything was taken off of him. Satan was testing Job. But God said, let it be so. Jesus said to Pilate, you would not have any power over me except for what is granted you by my Father. It's very obvious, little ducky. It's very obvious that God is working in everybody's will to do exactly what he's orchestrated. There's no randomness in the world. As I said before, computers generate a random number, but they have to generate that random number with an algorithm, which is made and generated by the computer. So you can sit here and judge God, but Job didn't. Job said God had given and God had taken away, right? And in all of these things, he did not blame God for what he did, even though he destroyed, took away his children. His servants were carried off, pillaged, killed by the sword. The whole world suffered because of Adam and Eve. And by the way, through Noah's Ark, which was God's will, because it's in the Bible that it's a picture of salvation, that very few people are going to make it to the end. Now, you can blame God all you want. It's not going to do you any good, Because if anybody has a right to do whatever they want to do and is blameless, and that's why it says in the Bible, we can't blame God for anything. God has his reasons. You see, this is your problem. Your problem is you want to judge God. I'm sorry, but I wouldn't fool around with fire if I were you. Thank you.